So we're moving on to the back of the Cuda, and we're lining up all the factory pieces, see what the mods we're going to do next. So our initial thing is we're going to get rid of the bumperettes here and shave this area, smooth it out. And we're going to take this bumper and we got to move it up quite a bit. As you can see, we got about an inch to move up here and tuck it. And then we got some other mods to do to kind of tighten our lines up, get into this area, tighten this up, and radius these corners real nice so everything's nice and smooth. We're going to do a slight modification here to change the way that things mount and put a flange on here that's a vertical flange so we get full adjustment and tighten that gap up real nice for the body shop. Yeah, we just plugged all the simple holes for all the carriage bolts that holds the bumper brackets on. We modified the brackets to pull the bumper tighter into the car. And then this will all be, you know, nice and knocked down and finished. And once we're finished through with that, we're gonna make them removable and make a modification here so that we can build off this bumper and tuck that line in real nice and tight. Now these are the original bumper brackets, and we had to take an inch out of it and take a lip off. And I also had to take about 3/4 of an inch off of each side and pull it in even, as it can only fit one way, and it's got to actually fit around certain parts of the car. We are going to make it removable, but this will be temporary, and this guy has to be mocked up again, and we're going to make a cut on this section of the bumper right here, and we'll remove that, and this will remain on the car, so you can still have your up, down, left, right adjustments for final assembly. But it should always go back in the same spot no matter what. So we'll be roughly about in there like that. Then we'll come around and have to make this turn in and then follow the shape right here. We rebuilt this whole thing yesterday, like corrected this radius and extended it down about a ½ inch down here to drop in harder, and then sharpen this body line up. Try to get all this to carry through real sharp.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, you can kind of see on that other side how this peak on that body line on that factory quarter panel like drops down like a bird beak. So that's all split underneath there, and then lifted it up 1/4 of an inch and then moved the body line, like corrected this line. So we got the closeout and quarter extensions made and kind of smoothed out and ready for the valance with the flange. Last piece we got here is just going to close that out. Kind of do a nice little pass through for the exhaust. And it's going to wrap back around. Oh, we actually got pretty damn close.
Not bad for a first try.
Not bad. Have to decide if we want to kind of take some out of this to get this guy to sit up flush onto the frame rail so that we got something smooth right here. So I might have to play around with that for a little bit, but I think we got a usable piece. Otherwise you end up with that. So I just want everything to go up nice and tight. Box that out real nice. Should look pretty cool when it's done. Doesn't look cool right now.
But it will. Nope, you're good. Keep going, keep going. Stop. Perfect.
Buddy, look at that.
That fits great.
Precision measuring. Good old Rick's tanks. I like these tanks, man. They're clean. They're clean. We can run the floor nice and flat, almost like all the way across till we get to these tubs. We'll have a little bump on these tubs to clear the IRS upper shock mount control arm. You know, but we got a low profile pump going in this thing too that's going to be an absolute monster. So that'll be pretty nice. We can do something cool here and actually have like a full functional trunk, you know. Obviously probably still have the battery and stuff in the back of it, but we'll have to come in and do something special with this thing. But see what it looks like underneath. So we want the lower profile to kind of flip up and tuck right underneath the Valance. and then disappear in the car. Because there's nothing worse on a car than seeing the gas tank hanging there.
Yeah. That'll ruin the booty shot.
So we got some space back here that we can play with for exhaust. And you know, we may even have a little bit of room there to do, we could do a battery in there too. I don't know, we'll see.
Seems to fit pretty good.
Tank?
Tank.
Tank. Yeah, I probably want to, it's just roughly in there, suspended, give me an idea of what we can do. Across here, some exhaust.
How far down is that Valance going to go?
Well, here's a flange we got going. So that's kind of the start of it. You know, this will obviously come in and run flush here.
So it'll cover about half the tank, probably.
Yeah, it should come right across. And then, you know, it'll have a reverse flange about that high, come up, and I want it to sit right there. So we'll kind of see if we're going to do a little bit of a raised trunk floor or if we're going to like drop this down yet. Right now it's just a rough mock-up, give us an idea of how tight we can run everything, and we actually have a lot of room back here. Given the IRS, like we have at least 4 inches I could drop this tank, but you know, it's got to play into part of the Valance is going to be tucked up real nice and kind of roll straight down and hide all this. You're not going to see it. So this is just going to give us a little guide point. I'll make another one for the other side and do kind of like a rough mock-up piece and see what we look like.
Make it out of cardboard?
Yeah, we'll probably do a portion of out of cardboard and kind of play with the exhaust tip location. I don't know if we're running stock location or not. I kind of want to move them a little bit inboard, but we'll have to see what the big boss man says about that and get a rough shape going too. So I'm kind of wanting that thing to flow through the exhaust. I mean, as you can see, we got a ton of room here.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much the most room we have in the entire car for exhaust. Everything else is going to be super tight. So like I want this to wrap real nice and tight, kind of run through the Valance and maybe come in, you know, sideways through a custom tip, like a billet piece maybe. We'll just kind of have to see how that plays out. If not, there's like a ton of room to go under, and obviously tailpipe section is going to be, you know, wrapped up real tight. But coming through here is my initial, that's my want. So we'll have to split wants and needs at some point. But it should be a pretty cool design and unique in itself. Not a lot of cars are going to be like that. And now we have a Camaro part on a Cuda, so it's that much cooler.
Hope our guys are going to love that.
Yeah, we like to upset the purists and chop things up as much as we possibly
We do that
can.
a lot here.
Yeah. If it ain't chopped up and made out of metal, it's not very cool. So, you know, I think we've got this car pretty much chopped up, and it's going to be a complete one-off car. A lot of little things that you're not going to really be able to notice, but very, very fine details, I think, especially on the back end of the car, and we haven't really even gotten to the front yet. So, you know, we'll see how that plays out. But it should be pretty cool, nice and subtle, and still keep the essence of a, you know, muscle car 70 Cuda. Muscle.
Mopar muscle.
This stuff turned out pretty good, even though you're not really going to see it. You know, like the extension on the quarter panel down here. I mean, this is your original flange right here on this car. And kind of instead of going crazy and making a new piece or whatever, just quickly made an extension out and made this about 4 inches or so. And I just wanted this to come down and flow into the rocker, as we have the dead flat rocker all the way down to the front of the car. So that might be kind of a neat feature when you're looking at certain dimensions of the car that might look a little bit different. And this up here is obviously wrapped in much harder from the factory. We took probably roughly 3/4 of an inch out of this radius and tucked it up, and that, I mean, that bumper's slammed up in there, and I think we got what we wanted out of it, and we got some continued body lines and everything, so it should be pretty rad. I'm stoked to see it all come together and really see what the back end looks like. So not a lot of Cuda's been done like this. Looks great so far.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more build videos like this, help us out by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. And it's a little thing to do, but don't forget to turn on those notifications. If you want to buy merch, go to store.classiccarstudio.com. See you next time.